Following my family's arrangements, I married a man named Sam. On our wedding night, I suggested we sleep in separate rooms. Adrian undid the buttons of his shirt right in front of me, eyes dark. But I have needs. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening. Adrian and I were a corporate merger, profit above feelings, nothing emotional. He's my brother Leo's friend, raised from birth to be the heir. Sam, aloof and elegant, polite yet distant. When I heard him agree to the marriage at the dinner table, I froze. Then I figured since I had to marry for alliance anyway, it might as well be Adrian. No point being picky. The ceremony had just ended, and he was a little drunk. He closed his eyes in the car and said nothing. Exhausted from the long day, I suddenly sobered up when I realized what might happen that night. The 20-minute ride felt like torture. Even breathing became tense. Surely a drunk man can't perform? I called his name, no response. He must be really out. The rock in my chest dropped. The car stopped and the man spoke, voice husky. "We're here. You're awake?" He nodded, grabbed my bridal purse, and stepped out. "I can carry it myself." Tonight's cash gifts were stuffed inside. He refused coolly. "No need. It's heavy." Only the two of us in the elevator, standing front and back. Neither spoke. The silence was awkward. Watching the floor numbers climb, I broke first. "Are you drunk? Should I boil you some hangover cure when we get up?"
No.
"I'm not drunk, and there's business to finish tonight." My cheeks burned once I understood. I kept psyching myself up. The elevator stopped. We walked in, changed our shoes. I pushed the bedroom door and froze. Red double happiness decals blanketed wall and window, glaringly new. Crimson rose petals carpeted the floor. Adrian appeared behind me at some point, voice cool. "We're tired. Let's rest. Do you want the shower first? I have a few things." "You go." Adrian went to the study for work, so that was the business. I exhaled, dug out the most conservative pajamas I owned, showered, twisted my wet hair into a top knot, skin rosy from steam, applied skincare, and killed a full hour and a half. He had finished some time while I was in the bathroom and was now unbuttoning his shirt. Watch and tie lay on the table. "How about we still sleep separately?" Adrian frowned, was silent a beat, then asked slowly, "Why?" "We don't know each other. We've got the license. It's legal. You'll adjust to being Mrs. Hawthorne. Also, I have needs." My ears ignited. I stared, stunned by the bluntness. His eyes were unreadable, voice softer. "But if you're unwilling, I'll respect that. Let things unfold. Sooner or later it would happen." I bit my lip.
Fine.
"We won't split rooms." The shower pattered behind the door. A strange flutter spread through my chest, heartbeat quickening. I patted my sternum. "Calm down, stay cool. I've never eaten pork, but I've seen pigs run." About 10 minutes later, the water stopped. Adrian came out in loungewear, hair damp. The mattress dipped, a faint cedar scent drifting off him. I tried to sound casual. "Want me to dry your hair?"
No.
"I run hot. It air dries." "Luna."
Em?
I met those dark irises. Had I imagined the predatory glint? Turning the lights off, darkness swallowed the room except for a small nightlight casting a warm puddle. I inched back to widen the gap. Before I could think, Adrian locked me in his arms. Fresh from the shower, his skin was cool yet invasive. Even through thin fabric, I felt the heat, uneasy, afraid to move, mind spinning. We looked at each other. Both knew what came next. His voice was low, sleep. To my surprise, after we lay there ages, he did nothing until I heard steady breathing. Asleep? The arm around my waist was steel. Our bodies were glued awkwardly, impossible position. Normally ice cold and distant. Tonight he'd been passionate. Maybe alcohol, after all. Adrian's schedule was brutal. On the third day after the wedding, he flew abroad. He texted briefly. "Business trip to France." I typed, "When will you be back?" Then deleted it. None of my business. For the week he was gone, we didn't video chat or message. I almost forgot I'd married. That night I showered, reached for clothes, nothing. I'd forgotten pajamas, brought only underwear. Home alone, I stepped out naked, spent 8 full minutes at the closet, and chose a set I never dared wear. Adrian was away, no one would see. A thrill buzzed through me. I changed, checked the mirror, shy at first, then bolder, already eyeing the next outfit. I'd just opened the wardrobe when the bedroom lock clicked. Panic into the duvet, I dove, head the only part showing. Flustered, I met Adrian's eyes and scolded. "Why didn't you knock?" My face exploded crimson. He'd seen everything. Wished the floor would swallow me. Adrian's expression stayed flat, a faint bob of his Adam's apple.
Sorry.
"I'll remember next time." "Out, let me change." Door shut. I scrambled into old pajamas, splashed cold water on my burning cheeks. Sudden cramps knotted my lower belly. Period had arrived. I toss at night. Sheets get messy. No overnight pads in the house, and I was too lazy to run out. I considered sleeping in the guest room. Stains there wouldn't be awkward. Adrian walked in, hair damp in loungewear, eyes dark and deep. "Something up?" I pressed my lips. "I'll sleep in the guest room tonight." "Why?" "The AC in here doesn't feel cold. I get hot." "I'll sleep next door too." "Adrian, why are you following me?" Cool voice. "I get hot too." I looked up. Two bodies make it hotter. He met my gaze. "Then we'll turn the thermostat lower." "Forget it. I'll stay here." I slept fitfully, worried all night. By morning the sheet was clean, relief. Washed up and downstairs, Adrian was already at the table. Breakfast laid out. He lifted his eyes. "Morning. It's 9. Aren't you working?" "Grandmother wants us back today." "I'll change then." "Drink the soup before it cools. Mrs. Brown made it." I peered in. Dates, goji longan. "What's this for?" "Blood and energy. Good for your system." "Cramps." "I'm fine. Barely feel it." I blinked, staring. Adrian, why so caring, secretly crushing on me? I still couldn't fathom why he'd agreed to marry me. He had the perfect candidate, childhood friend Lily Voss. Everyone assumed they'd end up together. His black eyes met mine, rejection absolute. "No." Then added, "It's never been secret. I've always been obvious."
Oh.
Guess I flattered myself. I brought back clothes from France, 3rd floor. Go try them. My eyes lit. Gloom gone in a second. Corporate marriage, no feelings, mutual courtesy, perfect. Arriving at the Hawthorne estate, we caught lunch. Conversation turned to the Chen's new grandson. "When are you two having one?" I nearly choked on soup. I set the spoon down, mortified, and pinched Adrian's thigh under the table. "Luna's still young. Kids can wait. We just married. It's too soon." "True, but start looking after your bodies. You're almost 30. Quit overtime before you burn out." "Mom, I've got it. There's ginseng at home. I'll stew it for you later." "Stay tonight. Your room's ready." The estate kept a border collie. After lunch I took it for a walk. I can handle the dog alone. No need to tag along. Being strangers, one-on-one moments still felt awkward. "If it bolts, you'll never hold it." Oreo looks mellow to me. "Let's go." Hands in pockets, long legs unhurried. Adrian strolled. I sped up, widening the gap front and back. Oreo was hyper. After half an hour, I was dead on my feet. "Your turn to hold it. I need a breather." Adrian laughed. "Already tired? You were practically speed walking." Still catching my breath, I pulled out my phone. "Look, I've clocked more than 10,000 steps. I'm done." "Then let's sit for a minute." There wasn't a bench in sight, only a waist-high boulder. I headed over to perch on it. "Hang on." He stripped off his suit jacket and spread it across the rock. "Sit here." The top button of his white shirt was open. Beneath it I could make out the clean, hard line of his shoulder, taut, powerful, quietly intimidating. My pulse skipped. Adrian's build was way better than I'd expected. Disarming, magnetic. "Rest here. I'll grab a bottle of water." "Okay." "Luna." Someone called my name. I glanced up and froze. Chase, my neighbor, and the guy I'd pined after all through high school. The summer we graduated, I'd planned to confess, then overheard he was flying overseas. The crush fizzled, and I moped around the house for 2 straight months. "Ellis, when did you get back?" "Recently." "You live around here now?" No. Visiting a friend. Water. Adrian returned and passed me a lukewarm bottle. Is this your boyfriend? Adrian's expression didn't flicker. He offered his hand, polite and precise. Hello. I'm Luna's husband, Adrian. Chase's eyes widened. You're married? Just a few weeks ago. Haven't had time to announce it. We made small talk for another minute, then headed home. The whole way back, Adrian was eerily quiet, more silent than I'd ever seen him. Inside, I couldn't stand it. Adrian, are you upset or something? He studied me for a beat, then murmured, That was the guy you liked in high school. I blinked.
Who?
Chase. My eyes went round. How did you know? Only Leo and I knew. That summer our parents assumed I was brooding over a bad SAT score. Adrian loosened his tie, gaze level. I guessed. Well, you're a mind reader. But I got over him years ago. We haven't even kept in touch. Why not? International calls are expensive. The corners of his mouth tugged up, and he actually laughed. The walk had left me sticky with sweat. I showered first, then hunted through the house, and finally located Adrian in the study. I didn't disturb him. Instead, I headed downstairs to flip through channels. Grandmother Hawthorne was rattling pans in the kitchen. A moment later, she emerged carrying a steaming soup tureen. Luna, you and Adrian finished this ginseng black chicken soup. It's been simmering all afternoon. Morgan, I'm off to bed. Make sure Adrian drinks it. The circles under his eyes could use some help. I licked my lips. The walk had carved out enough calories to make me hungry. I ladled a bowl. The hot broth slid down, sweet at the finish, warming me straight through. I carried the rest to Adrian. He was in the shower, the rush of water audible. True to form, he finished in minutes and stepped out in fresh pajamas. Thumb scrolling on my phone, I didn't look up. Drink the soup. Grandmother Hawthorne made it. Did you have some? I nodded. Finished a bowl already. Want more? I ran my tongue over my lower lip. Kind of, but that portion's yours. I'm not hungry. I don't like the chicken pieces. Drink the broth. Leave the meat for me. I hesitated a second, then smiled and lifted the spoon. Then I won't say thank you. After the soup, I brushed my teeth again and flopped onto the bed, restless and weirdly itchy. Could you scoot over? It's hot this close. The AC was running, yet I burned, kicking off covers and rustling nonstop. Adrian switched on the nightlight. You feel sick. I frowned, half groaning. So hot. I wanted to tear my clothes off. Aren't you warm? Too much ginseng, probably. Can you fetch me ice water? These pajamas were stifling. I rummaged for a silk slip, changed, and instantly felt cooler. Adrian came back, paused midway, then handed me the glass. Voice was rough. Drink. It'll dilute whatever's in your system. Why is it lukewarm? You're still on your period. No ice. I'll take another shower. Call if you need anything. I blinked. Didn't you just shower? He pressed his lips together, casual. I'm hot too. The water ran forever, splash after splash. Afraid something was wrong. I went to the door. Adrian? Silence, then a faint, ragged breath. I tried again. Everything okay? I'll be right out. Minutes later, he emerged in a new set of pajamas, every button fastened to the collar. I knit my brows. Aren't you roasting? All buttoned up. Maybe the herbal boost fried my brain. I stood, walked over, and undid them one by one. Half open, the shirt revealed the swell of muscle, abs tightening under my gaze. I stopped breathing, fingers trembling against his skin. I bit my lip. Can I touch? Adrian said nothing for ages, looking down with post-shower eyes darker than usual. Nerves spiked. I started to pull back. He caught my wrist, burning hot. His Adam's apple rose and fell. Voice gravelly. Go ahead. My palms spread over the hard, scorching muscle, tracing upward inch by inch. Enough. His stare turned molten, throat working. I'll take the sofa. We turned in so late I woke near 11. Adrian had already left for work. After saying goodbye to the grandparents, I headed home. I'd quit my job 6 months earlier and had only recently started sending out resumes. An interview was set for that afternoon. It went smoothly, front desk position, brain-dead tasks, perfect for killing time. And the office was only a short walk from Adrian's building. Half an hour ago, he'd texted, "Wait for me, we'll head home together." The elevator door slid open on a familiar face. "Ellis, you work on this floor?" Chase grinned. "I own the company, started it a couple of years back." I gaped. "Seriously? I just interviewed here." "I start Monday." Other passengers crowded in. Chase, on his way to a meeting, kept it brief. "I owe you dinner. Still owe you that catch-up." "Sounds good." Down in the Hawthorne International lobby, I messaged Adrian. No reply after several minutes, so I called his assistant. 5 minutes later, I was escorted to the executive floor. Inside the corner office, Adrian was on a call, a cigarette clamped between his teeth, legs crossed at the knee. I'd never seen this version of him. He flicked a glance at me and kept talking, voice cool, detached. I settled onto the sofa and thumbed through a magazine. Nothing but EBITDA and bond yields. Riveting. The call ended. Adrian tapped dash, stubbed the cigarette, and reached for his jacket.
I yawned.
"Done for the day?"
Up.
"Ready to head out." Interview went great. Guess who the CEO is?
Who?
Chase. Found out after I accepted. Adrian's face stayed blank. "You're set on that company?" 4-day week, 10 to 5 schedule, afternoon tea, team building. I'll die at that desk. Come to Hawthorne International, same perks, double salary. I shook my head instantly.
Nope.
Your place is huge. Workload triples. Plus, everyone knows me. Zero freedom. He dropped it, but on the drive kept pitching other firms. I shot each one down. Chase and I are old friends. He'll look out for me, relax. Adrian snorted inwardly. Planning to commute together? Won't work. You punch in at 9. I clock at 10. I need that extra hour. Stop up ahead. I need groceries. In the personal care aisle, pads were on sale. I tossed a few packs into the cart, stock running low at home. Adrian peered in. Still going. I flushed, whispering, "Ended days ago. Just stocking up." His eyes brightened, mood visibly lifted. I pushed on. Behind me, he tossed in a few more items. I didn't turn, but the clatter kept coming. At the checkout, the cart was half little blue boxes. Brain buffering, I stared at him. Voice barely audible. "Why so many?" "Too many? It's embarrassing. People will see." "Self-checkout then." He steered me to the kiosks. En route, he snagged another handful from the side rack. I shot him a glare and threatened. "Stop taking them. That's enough." He pressed his lips together, voice low. "This is a different type from just now." Tonight, Adrian showered an hour earlier than usual and didn't hole up in the study to work overtime. It was only 9 p.m. I hadn't updated my webcomic in a while, and the study happened to be free, so I went to the bedroom to grab my laptop. He was lying on the bed reading, expression intent. He set the book down, tone mild. "Not showering now. I have something to do. I'll shower later." "Roughly how long?" "Is it urgent?" I nodded. "No idea. Might be an all-night." He pursed his lips and said offhandedly, "I'll keep you company." Inside the study, Adrian sat across from me on the sofa. I couldn't concentrate on drawing at all. I muted my phone and opened TikTok, landed on a steamy snippet, downloaded it for a proper read. Before I knew it, half an hour had passed, and the corners of my mouth were fighting to stay down. "Finished drawing?" I brushed him off. Almost. "If you can't wait, go to bed." A moment later, his deep voice sounded beside me again. "Finished drawing?" I looked up. Our eyes met. He was leaning over me, gaze dark and narrowed. My scalp prickled. I managed. "I'm tired, taking a break." He confiscated the tablet, shut the laptop, and mercilessly closed the study door behind us. "Go shower."
Now.
I dawdled in the bathroom for almost an hour on purpose. When I came out, the bedroom lights were off, only a night light left on. I exhaled. Looked like he was finally asleep. I just lifted the quilt to slip in when he rolled over and pinned me beneath him, brushing a kiss to my forehead. Dazed, I stared up at him. Banked desire stormed in his eyes, voice restrained. "Can we tonight?" I could feel the heat radiating from his chest. My heart pounded so hard I flushed from cheeks to throat, dizzy. Adrian's Adam's apple slid up and down, gaze fierce and dark. Luna. Unable to bear that look, scarcely able to breathe, I gave a small nod. His warm palm caged my waist. When the searing kiss landed, the grip tightened. I started to open my mouth to ask him to be gentle, but he swept in and stole my breath, moving lower, kissing hard. The harsh light overhead began to spin. Mortified, I squeezed my eyes shut. Turn the light off. In the darkness, his breathing turned heavier. Strange, dizzying sensations flooded me. Reason unraveled, and a soft moan slipped out. Afterward, Adrian offered to carry me to the shower. Voice shaking, I refused. No need. I still have the strength to bathe. When I emerged, the sheets had already been changed. He'd showered in the guest room and handed me a glass of warm water. Drink something. Feel okay? My throat was parched. I took a sip and instantly felt better, shaking my head. Not uncomfortable, just exhausted. It was like finishing a marathon. My lower back ached and my legs were jelly. The next few nights, whenever Adrian tried to pull me into a repeat performance, I shot him down, ignoring the hunger in his eyes. No amount of coaxing worked. I'd set an alarm last night, 8 a.m. because you can't be late on your first day of work. I slept like the dead and missed it. When I woke, it was nearly 9. I slapped on makeup in a rush and slipped into a white Chanel skirt suit, clean cut, polished, boardroom ready. Downstairs, the man was leaning against the sofa, unhurriedly steeping a pot of tea. It's 9. Aren't you going to the office? Adrian arched a brow. Waiting for you. I'm driving you in on day 1. Great. Hurry up or I'll be late. Take breakfast. Roadwork near the tower meant I had him drop me a block away. A short walk, and I was there. Day 1 tasks were simple, almost relaxing. I met several coworkers. There's no company cafeteria, so at noon I pulled up a delivery app and scrolled half an hour without finding a single decent place. Everyone complained the neighborhood takeout was inedible. A WhatsApp from Adrian popped up. How's work? Eaten yet? I sent back a whining sticker. Boo-hoo, no idea what to eat. Seconds later, photos arrived. Braised pork meatballs, tomato, scrambled egg beef, pineapple ribs, dry-fried cauliflower, and for dessert, a tiramisu from my favorite spot, baked by the French pâtissier and gone by closing every day. Look at that feast. I'll come get you. Come eat here, No, I'll come myself. The midday heat slapped me as I left the building. I squinted, already regretting not letting Adrian pick me up. By the time I reached his office, a fine sheen of sweat coated me, uncomfortable. It's so hot. He brought water. I gulped it in one go. The spread looked incredible. I swallowed, speared a rib, and my eyes lit up. I'd skipped breakfast, and by the time I remembered the food he'd packed, it was cold and unappealing. I was starving, so everything tasted divine. He unbuttoned his cuff, sleeves halfway up, a discreet luxury watch glinting, and placed a lion's head meatball in my bowl. That hungry. I missed breakfast, dying here. Didn't I bring you food? It got cold, so I didn't touch it. Adrian's brows pinched. He added more ribs to my bowl. Enough. I've got calls. Nap in the lounge, then head back when you're ready. When I woke, he was in a video conference, face impassive. I yawned, still drowsy. The table now held fruit platters, pastries, and a cup of rose yogurt. My eyes sparked. Any grogginess vanished. I picked up a durian chunk, rich, creamy, irresistible, and polished off several before noticing the meeting had ended. He can't stand durian. When he sat down, his nose wrinkled, though his calm mask slid back instantly. Adrian, where did you get this durian? So good. And this rose yogurt, never seen it. New brand. Our standard afternoon tea spread. Your company is insane. Afternoon tea this lavish every day? He half smiled. Switch over. You can have it daily. I hesitated 3 seconds. Nah, I'll just come freeload at noon. Adrian. After work, meet me in the garage, and we'll drive home together.
Deal.
Break's almost over. Back to the grind. I'd barely stood when he caught my hand, voice lazy. Luna. He held my gaze, throat bobbing. We haven't kissed yet. I leaned in for a butterfly peck and pulled away. Done. Now I'll really be late. If you get hungry, text me. Chun can bring you snacks. And eat breakfast tomorrow. Got it, got it. Bye, I'm off, Adrian. He waved, smiling. Later, a month into the job. One evening, Adrian messaged that he'd be late. I left at rush hour. A block from his tower, an electric bike clipped me, and I went down. Nothing major, just a banged-up leg, barely able to stand, plus some scrapes. The rider jumped off. You okay? I waved. I'm fine, really. He left his number and drove off. I called Adrian perfectly calm, but my voice started trembling despite me. Adrian, I got hit by a bike. Instant tension on the line. Are you hurt? Where are you? Seems okay, can't walk though. Every step rubbed cloth against the wound, excruciating. Stay put. When Adrian arrived, I was perched on a flower bed, safely off the road. Dusk had cooled the air. He draped his suit jacket over my shoulders, jaw tight, face storm dark. Leg bad. A bit. Let me see. I thanked my lucky stars I'd worn jeans. Imagine a skirt. Adrian pressed his lips together, grim. And the driver? Why didn't he take you to the air? I told him to leave. Luna, did you knock your brain too? That was brilliant. No personal attacks. His eyes swept over me. Anything besides the leg? Slight dizziness. Just a touch. I'll carry you. Easy. Ow, that kills. Dark denim hid the damage. I'd thought it was only a graze. In the trauma room, the doctor cut the jeans away. My knee was a raw, ugly mess, dried blood glued to my calf. Hiss. I turned my head, unable to look. Adrian's face was frost. When the doctor cleaned the wound, I latched onto Adrian's forearm like a vice. Hearing I need a tetanus shot, I almost passed out, tears swimming. Adrian's voice went arctic. Doctor, gentler. Your pressure's too high. I tugged his sleeve and mumbled. Don't be mean. He sighed. My wife's a wimp. The corner of my mouth twitched up. He glared it back down. He wiped grime and tear tracks off my face with a moist wheeze. Tone soft. Never met anyone this clumsy. Doctor, will it scar? The doctor adjusted his glasses. Keep the wound dry, and it shouldn't. Come back for dressing changes. Adrian insisted on a full scan checkup. Luckily, everything else was clear. A little dizzy. He wasn't reassured, so he insisted on keeping me in the hospital for 24-hour observation. Several hours of hustling later, we still hadn't eaten, and my stomach was growling. I'll go buy food. Tell me what you want. My emotions had roller coastered all day. I desperately needed calories to steady myself, so I reeled off a list of dishes. Adrian ruffled my hair. Quite the appetite. Adrian, VIP suite. One movie finished. Still no sign of him. The window was cracked. The draft felt cold. I got up to shut it and saw a tall, straight figure downstairs. Adrian stood beneath the street lamp, a cigarette between his lips, pale smoke veiling his eyes, making him look almost unreal. I pressed my lips together and closed the window. 10 minutes later, he was back, jacket swapped for a different coat, every trace of smoke gone. I'd learned after the wedding that he smoked, but I rarely saw it, only when he was agitated. He carried several bags. The moment I spotted the tiramisu, my eyes lit up and the last of my bad mood vanished. Legs still hurt. Nope. It had stung when they changed the dressing, but lying down helped. I want the tiramisu. He tore the wrapper, handed me a spoon, set a moist towelette beside me. One bite, and I sighed happily. Instant cure, my leg's fine. I can clock in tomorrow. His mouth curved. That good? I nodded frantically, cheeks bulging. Shame there's rum in it. You can't have any. His tone was mild. I can taste it another way.
How?
Look up. I met his gaze, and a crushing kiss landed. Nipping, hungry, breath-stealing. One broad palm clamped my waist, the other cupped the back of my head, holding me tight. Suddenly, something tickled my side. Be good, Jamie. I felt the change in his body. Couldn't take it. Pushed lightly until we parted, his faint tobacco scent still on my lips. That's just covering your ears and stealing the bell. What if I really am allergic to alcohol? A drop won't hurt. Adrian took the pack and stepped outside. Not long after, It was time to wash up, but Adrian showed no sign of leaving. You're not going home tonight. I'm staying. There's only one bed. You should go, I'm fine. I actually wanted to leave. The injury was minor. Adrian was overreacting, and the mattress was hard. The disinfectant smell harsh. I'll take the sofa. You have work tomorrow. How will you rest on that thing? I took the day off. Right. I need to call in sick too. I texted Chase, then reopened the risque novel I'd been reading. Adrian hung up his coat. Shower now. Without looking, I muttered, You first. I was so absorbed, I didn't notice him beside me until his low voice recited the text aloud. I slammed the phone shut, mortified, mouth opening and closing. You peeked at my screen. He smiled, unruffled. So that's what is it for you? I flushed crimson. Aha. I do not like that stuff. Adrian said mildly, Luna, maybe he's up on the impulse fuel. Shut it. I wanted to hit him. I pinched his abdomen, rock hard, no give. He messed my hair again. Go shower, need help?
No.
Way too embarrassing. Hospital bathrooms are stall only. Before I went in, he wrapped my leg in plastic to keep it dry. I washed carefully, terrified a droplet would scar. Steam fogged the glass. My face glowed. When I came out, he was at the window finishing a call about work. He hung up. I was already in bed flipping channels. Your turn. He showered fast, toweled his hair, walked in. Still dizzy? Anything else? Much better. Barely hurts. The sofa was tiny. Adrian's legs hung over the arm. In the hush I whispered, Adrian. Yeah, princess? I'm cold. I'll ask for another blanket. Just get in. There's tons of room. I patted the mattress. He gave a soft laugh. Your legs stay put. I'm fine out here. Okay, but tell me if you're cramped. Night. Maybe the scare had worn me out. I dropped off quickly. I was fine, planning to check out that afternoon. At noon, Chase arrived with his assistant. Adrian had stepped out for food, so the room was empty. Ellis, what are you doing here? How bad is it? I waved and grinned. Just a scrape. He exhaled, relieved. Good. Brought soup. Finish it before you come back. Thanks. He had a meeting and left after 10 minutes. I lifted the lid. Sweet corn and carrot pork stock, fragrant as heaven. I closed it again to wait for Adrian. You're back. What did you get? His glance flicked to the flowers. Someone visited. Ellis just left soup. You have to try it. Smells incredible. Adrian's expression shifted a notch, voice calm. I bought soup too. Can we finish both? He lifted the lid, poured a bowl. Start with mine. I'll finish his. One swallow, salty water. Awful. Where'd you buy this? He hesitated. Place near the hospital. Blacklisted. Horrid. Then don't drink it. He refilled my bowl with Chase's corn soup. Rich and sweet, I downed 2 helpings. So good. You're not having any? I don't like soup. Your loss. During nap time, he opened his laptop on the sofa. No rest. Catching up on work. Quiet room, then a loud video. The secret to perfect corn carrot pork rib soup. Snap, he shut the lid. I blinked. He pressed his lips. Clicked by accident. A minute later, he reopened it, muted. Day 3 of convalescence, my bestie texted, Babe, summer break starts. Touching down tomorrow. My eyes sparked. Boredom had me moldy, and Zoe was coming home. We'd been inseparable since kindergarten through college. To dodge her family's arranged match, she'd fled abroad for grad school. Masters to Peach. 3 years, I'd missed her. Married life had turned me domestic. I hadn't hit a bar in ages. Cabin fever called for debauchery. I meant to tell Adrian at bedtime, but midnight came and went. Work or drinks, so I crashed. Next morning, I met Zoe at the airport. We hugged like survivors. Luna, don't tell my parents I'm back or they'll drag me home to marry that Glacier Lucien. I'd met Lucien Voss a few times, colder even than Adrian. Face set in stone, 0 friends outside Adrian and Leo. Old Mr. Voss had scattered bastards across the city. The succession war was brutal. If Zoe married and I didn't want to picture it. Relax. Vault sealed. You, me, and the lamppost. Good thing Adrian had come home late. I hadn't spilled. We checked her into a hotel, then raided the biggest mall in town, swiping Adrian's black card until I felt guilty and bought him a Richard Mille to ease my conscience. Outside, night had fallen. Adrian rang. Shopping spree? Just a few things. Oh, friend's birthday tonight. Home late. His voice sounded tired. Have fun. I'll pick you up. No need, I'll Uber. Night rides aren't safe. I'll wait, okay? Well, might be really late. I'll be there. Inside the dim bar, the bass thumped. One drink and I was warm, halfway buzzed, swaying to the beat. Zoe was wilder than I remembered. Exhausted, we slid into a booth and ordered bottles. Over the roars, Zoe lifted her chin. Luna, check out those two studs up ahead. Under the dim lights, it was hard to make out clearly. Just a profile. That guy looks kind of familiar, like that Hawthorne. Adrian. I hugged my glass. Impossible. Adrian's allergic to alcohol. He'd never show at a place like this. I wore a face full of gossip. Haha, Zoe, how's life abroad? Dated any foreign hotties? Nope. I'm stuck in the lab, every day. There is this British postdoc, though, super handsome, total gentleman, crazy focused when he works. Half the department's chasing him, but no one's ever seen him date. Do you like him? A tiny crush. A crack sounded as a glass hit the floor, swallowed almost immediately by the music. I sighed theatrically. Ah, I swore I'd have a few foreign boyfriends when I was little, but I married too young. Luna, how's married life? I pressed my lips together. Not bad. Adrian treats me well. So, do you like him? It's just a business marriage, no feelings involved. At least that's how it started. My phone rang. Adrian. The man's voice was ice. Done playing? Why so fierce all of a sudden? Feeling guilty, I said, not yet, but almost. Where? We're at the Grand. He went silent for a beat. I'll pick you up. The call cut. I grabbed my bag. Zoe, we've got to go. Adrian's coming. Go where? The Grand. Hurry. We hadn't taken 3 steps before I slammed into a solid chest. Rubbing my head, I muttered an apology and tugged Zoe onward. A lazy voice drifted from above. Luna. My purse slapped the floor with a thud. A tall man stood in front of me, jaw clenched, complexion stormy, gaze heavy. A chill shot down my spine. I croaked. Adrian. Long time no see, fiancé. Lucian drawled, half smiling. Zoe's face drained of color, her brows pinched tight. I'm taking my wife. With that, Adrian seized my hand and pulled me out. I yanked hard. Zoe's still back there. Mind your own business, he snapped, irritation leaking through. Adrian, are you mad? I can explain. I rattled on. Zoe doesn't want anyone to know she's back, so I lied to you. He pressed his lips shut and said nothing. Getting angry over something this small, really? Keep ignoring me, and you'll never hear me speak again. He gave a soft, mocking laugh, eyes unreadable. 3, 2, get in the car. The black Rolls-Royce Phantom tore along the elevated freeway and vanished into the night. Inside the car, I racked my brain but couldn't figure out why Adrian was upset. Did I badmouth him drunk? I didn't think I'd said anything nasty. Did I overspend on his card? I actually bought you a gift today. While we waited at a red light, his expression eased a fraction. Sure enough, guilty of overspending. I'll use my own card from now on. Won't touch yours again. The temperature inside the car plunged to freezing. Streetlights strobed across the dark glass, and his long, powerful fingers gripped the wheel. Adrian stared straight ahead, thoughts unreadable. I gave you the card, do whatever you want with it. No need to report. I rubbed my nose, at a loss. First time I'd ever seen him unhappy. Back home, Adrian went straight upstairs to shower. I unpacked the day's haul. Perfumes, bags, clothes. I slid the watch into the study drawer. He was in a foul mood. If he smashed it in a fit, there went tens of millions. I opened my phone and texted my brother. Bro, if Adrian's mad, does he throw stuff or hit people? If he does, I'm moving to the guest room tonight. A minute later, Leo's voice note popped up. He doesn't. You actually pissed Adrian off. Me. Apparently, yeah. Leo, good luck tonight. As the voice note ended, the bedroom door clicked. Adrian stepped out of the bathroom, gaze dark. My hand jerked. The phone thudded to the floor. Scooping it up, I met his stare, blinking. I'm gonna shower, I chirped and scurried into the bathroom. When I came out, he was already asleep. I'd planned to ask why he'd been angry once he cooled off. The following workday, I got word he'd flown to Northbridge on business. Several days passed without a call, not even one. Chase was slated for a networking gala. His secretary got sick, so the company sent me in her place. At the party, after lingering beside Chase a bit, I spotted Zoe. She stood next to Lucien, who chatted with some executives while his hand clamped around her wrist as though she might bolt. Zoe. Our eyes met. Hers lit up. She whispered something to Lucien and hurried over. After a quick hello to Chase, we commandeered a quiet corner, balancing plates of mini desserts, and settled in. Zoe, you okay that night? She scrunched her brows. Lucien is like superglue, cannot shake him off, ugh. By the way, why'd you come with Chase? Where's Adrian? He's on a trip. I'm here repping the company with the CEO, Mr. Fulton. Lucien kept glancing our way. Zoe couldn't take it. She dragged me toward the elevator.
Ding.
The doors slid open. I froze for a second. Days had passed. He suddenly felt unfamiliar. Immaculate suit, chiseled face, perfect shoulders, aura sharp enough to slice steel. Our gaze locked on those black eyes. My heart clenched and released. You're back. Adrian slipped a hand through my arm, voice flat. Stick with me. Don't wander. I shot Zoe an awkward goodbye as Adrian led me into a dim alcove lit by a single weak bulb. So, still mad. The past few days I'd been restless, barely eating or sleeping, that one silhouette flashing nonstop in my head. The low light hit his expression. Adrian's deep eyes lowered, thin lips parting. Before I answer, Luna, answer one for me. Shoot. Why did you like Chase back then? He was hot. But I stopped liking him. Silence stretched. His clear voice cut through. All right. Then how do you rate my looks? The question floored me. When no answer came, his brows creased slightly.
Hot.
You're the best-looking man I've ever seen. So, do you like me? We're already married. Like or dislike. Why was Adrian suddenly asking this? I finally managed. Like. Then why did you tell the bar it was only a business deal, no feelings? I lifted my chin, fighting to stay calm. It started as a contract, and back then we barely knew each other. Where were the feelings supposed to come from? Don't tell me you've been crushing on me the whole time? The corner of his mouth curled, utterly serious.
Yeah.
I've always liked you. His burning gaze pinned me, voice unhurried. I'm the one who proposed the alliance, Luna. I've wanted you for years. My Jamie dropped open. My eyes went wide with shock. His tall frame blocked everything in front of me, stare scorching, voice husky. Luna, you like me. I mumbled. I never said I didn't. He bent, cupped my face in both hands, and crashed his lips against mine. An aggressive kiss, breaths tangling, an iron arm around my waist, demanding and inescapable. Adrian, your eyes are bloodshot. You're burning up. Were you drugged? He gave a curt nod, throat bobbing, voice rough and urgent. Let's go home. The bedroom door had barely shut before I was pressed onto the bed. In the low light, desire blazed in his eyes. His breathing roughened as he unstrapped his Richard Mille and set it on the nightstand. Panic fluttered through me. I tried to wriggle free, but my legs trembled. Moonlight poured in. Turns out a man shouldn't stay celibate too long. That night, I kept knocking the nightstand, like a fish out of water grasping at something always just out of reach, while his ragged breaths filled my ears. 3 years into the marriage, on his 30th birthday, Adrian received a gift. Luna was pregnant. Both sets of parents beamed from ear to ear. Throughout the pregnancy, Adrian fussed over her, coming home on every evening to boil nourishing soups. The following summer, a daughter arrived. They named her Evening Hawthorne. Thanks for listening to today's story. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more great stories. See you next time.